For years, I've mentioned that one of our goals within the DevOps Enterprise community is to have business leaders co-presenting with their technology leadership counterparts at this conference to validate that the work of this community matters to people who matter. As Maya Lieben from American Airlines said earlier this morning, this year has been a whole load of 2020. But without doubt, one of the high points for me was meeting the next speaker, and I was so grateful when she told me she was willing to present here. Kimberly Johnson is Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer for Fannie Mae, which is in the Fortune 25 list of companies. Their mission includes making home ownership and affordable housing available for all Americans. For decades, she has earned the reputation of being asked to solve the toughest problems facing the organization. And I think the story of how she ended up being responsible for the technology function is profound, which is changing how technology is integrated into business strategy and operations. I can't overstate how much I've learned from her in every interaction I've had with her, and I've asked her to help teach this community of what we need to know in order to help our organizations win. She will be co-presenting with Chris Porter, SVP and Chief Information Security Officer, Tim Judge, VP of Climate Impact, and Ramon Richards, SVP of Integrated Technology Solutions. So here's Kimberly Johnson and team.
Welcome. I am really excited to join you today. Here at the DevOps Enterprise Summit, we're looking forward to providing some new insights, challenging ourselves to think differently, making some connections, and of course, sharing some stories about the journeys that we've all been on along the way. So I looked through the list of attendees, and there are some really amazing companies here. I'm sure as you look through the list, you were wondering, why is Fannie Mae at a DevOps Summit? And some of you were probably even asking, well, what is Fannie Mae anyway? Well, I'm going to spend a little time this morning talking about the role of Fannie Mae, how DevOps has helped us advance some solutions in the face of a rapidly changing environment. But we're also going to talk about the Fannie Mae version of DevOps, which is really DevSecOps, and how we incorporate security into everything we do. I'm going to pull in some of my Fannie Mae colleagues along the way to help tell these stories, and we're really going to drive home the theme about connecting business and technology. So first, what is Fannie Mae? Well, we like to describe ourselves as a secondary mortgage market company, but those words don't mean a lot to most people. The gist of it is banks lend money to people so they can buy homes, and we buy those loans from those banks so that they can have more money to lend more people to buy more homes. It provides liquidity to the entire mortgage market. What we do with all those loans we buy, we package them up, we put them into securities, and we sell them into the capital markets. And this is great for homeowners. It means their houses can be more affordable. It makes it cheaper for them to borrow. Instead of borrowing money at the rate that any person might be able to access for the risk that you might get for buying a home, we take thousands of borrowers, we package them together, we put a guarantee on those cash flows, and that gives a really reliable security that investors can buy. And they put billions and trillions into the market to help support housing for everyone in America. And everyone in America is a really important theme for us. We believe in helping all mortgages at all times. Fannie Mae, in its size and scale, is something to really wonder. We have a $3.5 trillion balance sheet, and housing is up to 15, sometimes 18% of our annual GDP. So the bottom line is housing is important to the economy in America. Now, this is great in terms of scale when it comes to us delivering customers solutions, but it's tough when you think about change. Changing something that's so deeply embedded in the economy of the country means you have to be very careful. It's created a risk tolerance for us that doesn't necessarily help drive innovation, speed, adaptability, the things we're looking to get out of a fast-moving experience. When we started looking at the way that customers interact with us and the experience that they get in getting a mortgage, we realized we really have to start evolving and have to start evolving fast. Customer experience is really changing. They're expecting to be able to buy things from their phones with their fingertips in moments. And we still were working through a process that was full of paper and forms and signatures and faxes, by God, faxes. So we've been spending the last part of our digital transformation trying to digitize the front end, but also trying to digitize the entire process, making things faster, easier, simpler for the lenders and for the investors who are part of our mortgage ecosystem. So before I launch into our DevOps story, I want to tell you a little bit about myself and my journey at Fannie Mae. So I had Gene Kim earlier this year come and talk to my entire company about DevOps. And as he began to learn more about Fannie Mae and how we've come to value sort of speed, agility, locality, simplicity, flow, the things that are really core, he asked me a really important question. He said, Kimberly, I love that you're involved with this technology, but you've told me your story. You've been here at Fannie Mae for 14 years. You've been in capital markets, multifamily and single family and risk. And why are you the COO? I don't understand how you're leading the technology team. And I have to say, I took that as a compliment. The like, what makes you qualified to do this job question can come off a little prickly, but Gene meant it in the nicest of ways. And I had a really ready answer. For us, it's not about having the best ability to code or knowing how to provision servers. The leadership of our technology team is about bringing together business and tech. We recognize at this moment that it's not going to be about us and them. There's only going to be one business in the future, and it will all be powered through technology. Fusing those things together is going to be what makes us compete and win in the future. I have to say, when I started in my role, we had a long history between the business and the technology teams. The trust was pretty low, and I would say the empathy was pretty low too. We had a history of taking too long, costing too much, and not quite getting the mark when it came to delivery. And so there was, blame on both sides of that equation, but it wasn't a harmonious co-location of people working together towards the same goals. Number one thing we did when we started off on our DevOps journey was make sure that we were actually connecting our customers, our business people, and our technologists so that we could